Hi everybody, it's Dre here. So it's getting hot. I have oily skin, and I think even those of you that don't have oily skin know the struggles in the summer with trying to keep your makeup on your face, and it just wants to slide off. That sweat just wants to take it and slide it right off. But especially when you have oily skin, it's just a whole another level of struggle. So this video today is going to be very, very quick. This is just my favorite primers and powders for the summertime that help me keep matte. Now, there's no way I could ever keep fully matte. I do have to reapply. I'll talk about the powders that are best for that, but these definitely help. As I was going through my collection, I realized that the only primers I have are high-end, and the only powders I love for this are all drugstore. So there is technically a mix here, but it's very lopsided. Let's just get into primers first. Unfortunately, I'm still searching the drugstore for some good mattifying primers. Nothing I've found has really done the trick yet, but I do have high-end ones that I really, really, really love. And if you're willing to make the investment, these pair really well with almost every foundation that I've put them with. So it is kind of worth the investment, I think, for the entire summer for a really good mattifying primer. So let's start out with two that are really only geared towards completely mattifying. This one is the Makeup Forever Step 1 Skin Equalizer. It's the mattifying version. They do have a bunch of versions of these. I don't know if this one comes in a travel size. I know a few of these do. But anyway, this is the full size. I've had this a long time. A little goes a long way with this because you really only need to put it in your T-zone or in whatever area on your face is oily. In fact, if you put this in the kind of drier areas of your face, it does actually ball up and it will do that pilling thing to your makeup on top. So only put it in the areas that are oily. The other one that is very similar, almost, I would say they're almost exactly the same. This one is the Becca Evermatte Poreless Priming Perfector, and this actually is a travel size. If you're like me and you like experimenting with makeup, I always like to purchase a travel size as opposed to a full size, just because I'm a little bit of a cheapskate like that and I like to try something at a lower price point. And because, again, this goes a really long way, I don't really think you need to buy the full size, because I've had this for a good year and a half, and granted I only really use it during summer, but I use it a lot. And same thing, you just put it in your oily T-zone and it really does keep you very matte. In fact, I wouldn't recommend this in the fall or winter. It kind of will really just suck everything out of your skin, like all the oil, and it will kind of make it very dry. The other primer I've been loving this year is the Nars Smooth and Protect Primer. So if you have issues with maybe acne scarring or large pores and you really want to smooth out your skin, this would be a really good option. I know there are tons of pore filling primers out there, but the benefit to this one is that it has SPF 50 in it. So as we know, you need SPF all year round, not just when you're out in the sun. The sun shines through windows, people. Like, you need it all year round. But especially in the summertime, that's when we are really outside having a lot of sun exposure, and you need to really make sure you have a good base of SPF on your face. So this is the one I've been going to a lot because it does give me that smoothing and it gives me the SPF as well. And I do use regular SPF too, like underneath all my makeup, and everybody should, in my opinion. But this just gives you that extra layer of protection to make sure that you're fully protected. So if you're looking for a primer with SPF, this is a really good one. This will do something to keep you matte. Like, it's not a hydrating primer by any means, but it's not going to be as mattifying as those other two that I mentioned. So let's talk about powders. Now, a lot of people don't set their foundation or concealer with powder, and if that works for you, that's fine. But I think all my oily skin friends know that we need to. Like, it is a need, it is not a want. So during the summer especially is when I'm always looking for the best powders. In regards to baking or setting my under eye, I'm not very oily under my eye. What I really like though is something that's very lightweight. So if I'm baking, I would normally go for like a Coty Airspun or Laura Mercier Translucent, but those are both fairly heavy powders, and I think in the summertime many of us want to keep everything a little bit more lightweight on the skin. And I really love this one. This has been a holy grail for a long time, but I think it's especially good for baking your under eye in the summertime because it is very lightweight. It's the RCMA No Color powder, and it is translucent. So the packaging, as we all know, or maybe you don't, is not very good. But what I do is I just put my beauty blender right in the top and I just flip it on over. I'm not going to show you because it'll go everywhere, but with my beauty blender in the top, I just flip it right on over, flip it back, and then whatever's on my beauty blender, I just apply directly to the under eye, and that is enough to do each eye. That powder is also really good if you don't want to bake and you just want to set your under eye. You can certainly just put a little bit on a brush and just set your under eye and you're good to go as well. So in regards to the rest of the face, I always set my foundation, of course, to keep it to keep everything locked in, but I definitely need to blot and repowder throughout the day. Sometimes blotting is enough and all I need to do is blot and move on. I don't need to repowder. It depends on the foundation. Some foundations definitely benefit from repowdering as well. So I have a couple that I've definitely put to the test and definitely love. So the first one is this one, and you'll see how much I love it. Is completely gone. I just finished this up maybe like 2 weeks ago. I haven't even shown it in an empties yet. This was actually part of my makeup use up for this year as well. This is the NYX Stay Matte But Not Flat Powder Foundation. Now this can also be used if you don't want a liquid foundation and you just want a little bit of color. It doesn't have the most coverage in the world. Like, it's definitely, to me, more of a setting powder than, you know, a powder foundation on its own. But in terms of keeping you matte and oil-free, it's in the name, guys. Like, it really does work really well. I love the texture of this. It doesn't get cakey looking. It's really good for reapplying throughout the day. So this is a big favorite. Again, all these powders are drugstore, so they're very affordable. The next one has been a favorite throughout probably the entire lifespan of my channel. I've talked about this forever. This is the e.l.f. Perfect Finish HD powder. This is a translucent powder, so it actually looks white in the pan. This is actually the second one of these that I've purchased. I went through an entire one last year. So this one is really great for repowdering during the day. You can even, if you are without blotting sheets, you can even just repowder on top of your oil. And it works. Like, it doesn't get cakey looking, which is almost miraculous, but it definitely works. And it actually almost gives the illusion that it's filling in pores. Like, I've looked at my skin in the mirror, put it on, and my pores just seem to go away. And my last favorite definitely works for mattifying. It is made for mattifying, but it's a little bit tougher to get your hands on. So this is a Korean product. This is a brand called Innisfree, and it's called the No Sebum Mineral Powder. Now, I got this off Amazon. It's not really that hard to get if you're okay with ordering online. Obviously, you can't just hop down to your local drugstore and pick it up, but it is not bad to find online. So it's actually pretty cheap too. Like, I think I paid somewhere around $9 for this. This is a loose translucent powder. It's very fine, and it will not add any color or coverage to your skin, but it is a no sebum powder. Sebum is oil. I hate that word sebum. I've said that before, but I just put this right in my T-zone and it definitely keeps me matte for longer than any other powder I own. So if you're really looking for longevity, this is something that I would definitely recommend. It works super well and it's gonna keep you matte for a really long time. So that is it for my favorite primers and powders for oily skin people for the summertime. These are definitely holy grail. I've definitely put these to the test for a long time. I'm gonna be bringing you guys my favorite foundations for the summer as well, so look out for that soon. And if you have any suggestions for me on either primers or powders that you love, leave them in the comments, especially drugstore, because like I said, I'm still searching for the perfect mattifying drugstore primer and I have not come across it yet. So I think they need to step up their game a little bit, these drugstore brands. But anyway, as you can see, they do really well in powder category. So that is it for this video. I hope you guys really loved it. Definitely subscribe if you haven't yet. My channel definitely centers around being oily skin. So if you are, I have tons of videos for you and it's a lot of fun here on my channel. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and that's it for today. I will see you guys in my next video.